They thought the sea would hide them, that the night, the heat, and the silence of the strait would swallow their plan whole. But the ocean has ears, and steel has memory. What began as a covert seizure turned into a disaster broadcast on every classified channel from Bahrain to Norfolk. A trap meant to capture an American destroyer became the most humiliating failure in Iran's naval history. 40 men entered the water that night. None came back in command of anything but their own fear. Strait of Hormuz 2 nights ago. 20 miles wide, the narrowest passage on Earth, every ship crossing watched by satellites and radars from both sides. USS Gravely, Arleigh Burke-class destroyer. Call sign Iron Wolf, conducting independent patrol to monitor commercial shipping and deter piracy. Routine mission. Calm seas, no surface contacts, low thermal clutter. At 200 hours local time, Gravely moved through the corridor at 15 knots, lights blacked out, electronic emissions minimal. Captain Aaron Mitchell on the bridge. Maintain course, keep it quiet, let's make this transit boring. It never was. At 220, U.S. Fifth Fleet intelligence flagged unusual Iranian radio traffic. Short, encrypted bursts between small craft operating out of Bandar Abbas. Phrases translated later as "retrieve the prize" and "authorization from command." The messages indicated coordinated movement, multiple boats, infrared beacons active. Unknown to Gravely's crew, Iranian Quds naval commandos aboard 6 fast boats had launched hours earlier from Keshem Island. Their target, board and seize the American destroyer under cover of darkness, drag it into Iranian waters, and claim a political victory the world couldn't ignore. At 245, sonar operators detected low-frequency cavitation astern. Unidentified craft closing from the north. Radar still silent. Boats running low. Radar off. Speed 20 knots. Electronic warfare officer confirmed faint uplink signals bouncing off the Iranian coast. Captain Mitchell ordered Condition 1. All hands to stations, weapons tight, eyes open. The destroyer's infrared search system caught heat signatures. 6 small boats forming a crescent pattern. Too disciplined for fishermen, too silent for patrol craft. "They're coming for us," Mitchell said. By 252, Gravely's deck teams had armed .50 caliber mounts, bridge crew in combat helmets, combat information center tracking targets manually through electro-optical feed. Rules of engagement restricted fire unless hostile intent confirmed. Iranian fast boats held formation at 2 nautical miles, parallel to course, pretending to escort. A 7th radar contact appeared off the port bow. An unregistered tugboat drifting without lights. Analysts would later confirm it carried the boarding team's main contingent, hidden beneath canvas tarps and fuel drums. The plan was to close, feign distress, and launch grappling teams onto Gravely's fantail within seconds. At 259, the deception began. The tug transmitted on civilian frequency. "Mayday, mechanical failure, need assistance." Standard ploy. Mitchell replied cautiously, "This is United States naval vessel. Maintain distance, we will monitor." But the Iranian captain pushed forward, engines revving, heat plumes spiking on sensors. Boats tightened the arc. Command center in Bahrain confirmed. These were Quds special operations assets, not civilians. Iron Wolf. Threat confirmed. Weapons free if engaged. The call barely ended when tracer rounds erupted from one of the fast boats, ripping into the night. At 300 hours, Gravely returned fire. Twin chain guns opened, water lit by orange flashes. First fast boat disintegrated under sustained bursts. The tug turned hard to port, attempting to ram. Aegis radar locked on, illuminating targets in microseconds. Phalanx close in weapon system tracked the tug's bow. Fired a 3-second burst, shredding the wheelhouse. Explosion. The boarding platform erupted in flame. Secondary detonations followed. Fuel barrels, ammunition stores, grenades cooking off. Infrared feed showed men jumping into the sea, operation collapsing before it even reached the hull. 305. Iranian shore radars activated. Over 20 air defense radars sweeping the area. Command chatter spiking. Onshore command panicked. Operation exposed. American destroyer responding. Gravely's crew maintained defensive posture. Captain Mitchell ordered drones launched. 2 scan eagles lifted from deck, transmitting live video. Drones confirmed multiple fast boats withdrawing toward the coast, one still afloat, carrying survivors. "Do not pursue," Mitchell said. "We hold position," his eyes fixed on tactical display. "We're not the ones hiding tonight." At 310, 5th Fleet relayed direct orders: capture any surviving attackers for intelligence. Iranian boats still burning. Gravely maneuvered carefully, floodlights scanning waves. 3 men found clinging to debris. Boarding team deployed rigid hull inflatable boat, secured prisoners. 2 severely burned, 1 wounded, but coherent. Interrogation later revealed shocking details. The operation was planned by Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps Naval Intelligence, authorized at the highest level. Objective: capture the destroyer, tow it to Bandar Abbas, and claim the crew as prisoners. Codename Crescent Net. It had been rehearsed for weeks. 320. Iranian command attempted to cover tracks. Radio broadcasts declared American vessel had violated territorial waters, aggressively collided with civilian fishing vessels. Gravely's bridge recorded all communications. GPS logs proved position 12 nautical miles from Iranian coast, international waters. Bahrain issued immediate statement: Iron Wolf under hostile attack. Defensive actions justified. Satellite imagery captured burning debris fields, confirming U.S. narrative. Meanwhile, Iranian rescue boats approached the scene under white flags, requesting access to survivors. Mitchell refused. No retrieval until investigation authorized by 5th Fleet. 340 U.S. destroyer USS Mason and cruiser USS Philippine Sea diverted from nearby patrol, racing toward Gravely's coordinates. Air support from Eisenhower's strike group scrambled. FA-18. Super Hornets, call signs Blade 1 and 2, orbiting overhead at 15,000 feet, providing overwatch. Iranian coastal batteries went on alert but did not engage. Situation delicate, both sides balancing on edge of escalation. Inside Gravely's Combat Information Center, silence hung heavy except for radar pings and the hum of cooling fans. Every sailor knew one wrong move could ignite the Gulf. 355. Survivors from the Iranian boats transferred to Medical Bay. One identified himself as Lieutenant Commander Parviz Kamali, Quds Naval Special Operations. Under questioning, he admitted mission failure. "We were told Americans would hesitate, that you would not fire." Mitchell stared at him through the glass partition. "We don't hesitate when attacked." Intelligence officers recorded everything. Within hours, transcripts sent to Central Command and Washington. Evidence irrefutable. Direct aggression under orders from Tehran. Political consequences already forming before dawn. 400 hours. U.S. Naval Command authorized limited counteraction. Not retaliation, but demonstration. Gravely's drones located 2 abandoned Iranian speedboats adrift, armed with light weapons. At 415, American destroyer launched precision warning strike using small caliber naval gunfire, neutralizing boats without casualties. Message clear: any repeat attempt would be met instantly. Iranian radars went dark within minutes. Silence returned to the Strait. Waves carried pieces of the failed assault back toward shore. As dawn broke at 530, smoke still hung low over the horizon. Gravely resumed slow patrol, accompanied now by Mason and Philippine Sea. Drones continued surveillance of Iranian coastline, wreckage littering Keshem Harbor, ambulances moving under cover of hangars. Intelligence confirmed at least 20 casualties among Iranian special forces, 8 confirmed deceased, remainder missing at sea. Quds Naval Command had been humiliated. State media released contradictory reports, first claiming victory, then silence, then images of supposed American retreat. None matched satellite records showing Gravely steady on course, undamaged. At 600 hours, Captain Mitchell received direct communication from Vice Admiral Loren Price, commander of 5th Fleet. "Outstanding performance, Aaron. You just prevented an international crisis," Mitchell replied. "Ma'am, our people did their jobs, that's all." But below deck, sailors cleaned spent shell casings, patched minor shrapnel damage, and stared at the sea that had nearly swallowed them. They knew how close the night had come to full-scale war. Every second replayed in memory. Flashes, impacts, shouts over intercom, the smell of burned fuel drifting through ventilation ducts. 800 hours. Iranian coastal units stood down. Communications intercepted from Bandar Abbas revealed chaos within command structure. Senior officers suspended, intelligence director detained, investigation launched into failure of secrecy. Unconfirmed reports indicated several mid-ranking planners arrested by the Revolutionary Guard for compromising national operations. Tehran publicly denied the attempt, calling it fabrication by Western propaganda. But within classified circles, acknowledgement spread. The attempted capture of an American destroyer had backfired completely, delivering valuable prisoners and proof of Iran's direct involvement in hostile action. 900 hours. Eisenhower's strike group maintained position east of Hormuz, air patrols constant. British Royal Navy frigate HMS Defender joined the formation, providing radar coverage. International Maritime Organization issued brief statement. Freedom of navigation maintained. All vessels advised to remain alert, but operations continue without disruption. Oil markets reacted briefly, prices rising 4%, then stabilizing after confirmation of no shipping delay. Behind the calm tone of reports, everyone knew something extraordinary had occurred. A full-scale Iranian capture mission crushed in less than an hour by a single destroyer's crew. By midday, gravely docked at Manama, Bahrain. Hull scorched, radar dishes pitted with salt and soot, but operational. Sailors lined the deck as media blackout enforced. No statements, no photographs, only official line. Routine patrol, engagement with unidentified hostile craft, no casualties. The 3 captured Iranian officers transferred to secure intelligence facility under armed escort. Interrogations ongoing. Early assessments indicated Iran's goal was to test U.S. resolve after Operation Iron Shield to prove they could strike back indirectly. The result proved the opposite. Another public embarrassment, another demonstration of technological superiority. That evening, Iranian state television broadcast shaky footage of small boats returning to port, claiming victory over foreign aggressors. But open-source analysts identified burning wrecks, mismatched timestamps, obvious fabrications. In Washington, Pentagon released brief confirmation. USS gravely defended against coordinated assault by Iranian forces in international waters. No U.S. personnel injured, hostile assets neutralized, several enemy combatants captured. Operation concluded successfully. No further details, yet the message to every military observer was unmistakable. America's naval shield remained impenetrable, even under surprise and deception. 24 hours after the attack, satellite reconnaissance over Bandar Abbas detected unusual activity. Convoys moving away from coastal installations, personnel redeploying inland. Analysts interpreted it as Iran dispersing forces to avoid further embarrassment. Within Iranian military circles, blame spread rapidly. Senior commanders accused of incompetence, operational leaks traced to rival factions. Tehran ordered complete radio silence along the southern coast. In contrast, U.S. destroyers continued routine patrols, no deviation from schedule, their transponders broadcasting confidence across the Gulf. 2 days later, at a closed briefing in Bahrain, Fifth Fleet summarized the events officially. Between 200 and 300 hours, Iranian forces attempted hostile boarding of USS Gravely, using 6 fast boats and 1 disguised tug. Engagement lasted 11 minutes. All enemy craft destroyed or neutralized. 3 prisoners captured. No U.S. casualties. Operation designated Iron Dagger. Threat to navigation neutralized. The report concluded with chilling precision. Future Iranian attempts will result in immediate counterforce strikes. Words simple, consequences absolute. Now the strait is quiet again. Tankers glide through, their wakes cutting silver lines across the black water. Iranian radars remain silent, their operators staring at blank screens, waiting for orders that may never come. On Gravely's bridge, sailors watch the coast through night vision scopes, calm but ready. The lesson echoes across every deck and every command post from the Red Sea to the Pacific. You can launch missiles, you can send boats, you can whisper threats into the dark. But when steel meets discipline, when training meets will, the result is always the same. The strait stays open, the flag stays flying, and those who try to take it learn the cost of failure in the world's narrowest stretch of water.